Hello, this is Empowering Democracy. I'm your host, Joe Firestone, and this is another Dump the Corruption show. Our topic for tonight is Billionaire Bought Courts. Interesting topic. Where is this going on? The answer is it's going on in the great state of Texas. Let's get into a little more detail. All kinds of strange things going on in the great state, of Texas. This piece appeared in Portside. It originally appeared in The Lever. It appeared in Portside on February 27, 2024. Title is Elon Musk Flees to Billionaire's New Court. Burned by legal decisions, Elon Musk is relocating his rocket company to Texas, where he'll enjoy a new separate justice system controlled by his ally, Governor Greg Abbott. This piece is by Katya Schwenk and Helen Santoro, two writers for the Lever. There's Elon. Behind him is the Texas State Capitol building in Austin. The photo is by Kirsty Wigglesworth and Harry Kablockfile. Interesting names. Elon Musk's lawsuit-plagued SpaceX rocket company is departing Delaware for a new legal home based in Texas, just as the Lone Star State rolls out a new separate court system for businesses that will allow Republican Texas governor and longtime Musk ally Greg Abbott to handpick judges. Isn't that wonderful? Texas's oil and gas industries, alongside a host of other corporate interests, lobbied hard last year for the state's new business court system, which will begin hearing cases this September. The fierce support from Big Oil, Texas's largest industry, was evidence, critics charged, that business interests in Texas were effectively trying to buy their own courts, I should say. And that seems very likely to me, very likely indeed, that that's what this was about. Despite pushback, businesses succeeded. After lawmakers brought the bill to his desk, Greg Abbott signed the proposal into law in June. Texas has now created what critics argue is a two-tiered system of justice, where cases involving massive corporations are funneled into separate courts and heard by judges personally appointed by the governor. That is really interesting. What happens when the governor changes? Will Greg Abbott be the governor forever? He's doing everything he can, of course, and the Republicans are doing everything they can in the way of gerrymandering and other devices. To stop the Democrats from gaining control of Texas. But it may be that if the Democrats do gain control, then they'll be the one appointing the judges. Won't that be wonderful? It's an end run around the elected judiciary for the benefit of Governor Abbott and his campaign contributor, said Rick Levy, the president of the Texas chapter of the AFL-CIO Federation of Unions. adding that he saw the new court system as, quote, another instance of trying to concentrate political power in the hands of a governor who seems very eager to amass it. Indeed. Well, Musk has not said the new courts are a factor in the move. He and his explosion prone spacecraft company are poised to benefit from a new court system, as well as his long standing chummy relationship with Abbott. Quote, I think Musk thinks that maybe he'll have influence there, that if there's too much litigation, then he'll push the legislature to limit it, unquote. Said Miko Barzuza, a professor at the University of Virginia School of Law, who writes about corporate governance. Barzuza emphasized Abbott's warm reception to Musk's uh, 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 announcement of his SpaceX reincorporation plans. Quote, welcome home, unquote, the governor tweeted on February 14th in response to Musk's announcement that SpaceX would reincorporate in the state. Some 29 other states have similar business courts to the Texas plan. Such a system, proponents say, can ensure complex cases involving big corporations are overseen by judges with appropriate legal expertise. Give me a break. That while other courts are often overseen by both lawmakers and the governor's office, as in Delaware, Texas courts will be uniquely at the whims of the executive branch. So Texas doesn't believe in separation of powers. Judges in Texas courts will serve 2-year terms, far shorter than most other states, and will be appointed by the governor. This could, in theory, make it quite easy for Abbott to quickly replace judges that don't toe the line. Folks, what could go wrong in this arrangement? I mean, what could go wrong? I'm even talking about this from the standpoint of business. What happens if things change in Texas in 2 or 4 years? Then it would be time to appoint entirely new slates of judges for the business court. I could just imagine some new governor, maybe Beto O'Rourke, but maybe not, maybe Sema Hernandez, for example. What about Sema? Then the slate of judges that she appoints, well, let's just say they're not going to be, doesn't have the last say if who's on the court can be quickly changed. Particularly if there's an unpopular, even legally correct outcome. Quote, we're proud he calls Texas home. Until this month, SpaceX, which Musk founded in 2002, was incorporated in the state of Delaware. Laws and the state's own ostensibly advantageous corporate court system that tries cases only before judges, not juries. But after a Delaware business court judge handed down a series of unfavorable rulings to Musk, most recently finding in January that Musk's $56 billion compensation deal from Tesla should be reversed, the billionaire turned against the state. Quote, never incorporate your company in the state of Delaware, unquote, Musk wrote on X shortly after the ruling came down. Within 2 weeks, he had filed to reincorporate SpaceX in Texas. Musk proclaimed he would fight to bring Tesla to the state as well. although because Tesla is a publicly traded company, the move would require a shareholder vote. Musk and Abbott, who has reigned rather dictatorially over Texas during his 3 terms as governor, have long had a close relationship. Musk was an early Abbott supporter, donating $10,000 to his first campaign for governor in 2014. The investment has paid off. Quote, there is no greater entrepreneur in the entire world than Elon Musk, unquote, Abbott said in May 2023 when Tesla broke ground on a $37.5 million lithium refinery for its electric vehicle batteries in the state. Quote, we're proud, he calls Texas home. Texas has given various sweetheart deals to Musk and his companies over the years, despite the company's troubling environmental impacts in the state, including filling fragile national wildlife refuge lands with rocket debris. SpaceX received $15 million in incentives from former Texas Governor Rick Perry to bring parts of the company's operations to the state in the first place. Under Abbott, the special treatment has continued. Tesla received $60 million in local tax rebates when the company brought a new factory to the Austin area in 2020. State officials are currently considering a generous land swap with SpaceX that would give the company 43 acres of a state park in the vicinity of its massive Starship launch pad and facilities in Boca Chica, despite opposition from local residents and environmentalists. Quote, the love affair between the Republican officials here and Elon Musk seems to be paying off for both of them, said Levy with the AFL-CIO. Abbott has also been a champion of the state's oil and gas industries, which represent some of his biggest campaign donors. These fossil fuel interests were among the companies that lined up to support the bill that created Texas' new court system. Supporters included oil trade groups, including the Texas Pipeline Association and the Texas Oil and Gas Association, as well as other pro-business groups like the Texas Association of Manufacturers and the Texas Association of Business. State Rep Jeff Leach, Republican, a key author of the Texas Business Court Bill and member of the state's Judiciary and Civil Jurisprudence Committee that oversaw the legislation, also celebrated SpaceX's reincorporation this month alongside Abbott. We've been proud to consider SpaceX a Texan for quite some time. Congratulations on making it official, he tweeted on February 14th. Quote, a massive stress test. While Musk hasn't fully divulged his motivations for moving to Texas, Barzuza at the University of Virginia Law School noted that Musk likely expects he could wield greater, quote, political clout, unquote, in a state where SpaceX conducts significant operations. Now, too, his companies will have access to a tailor-made court system. Courts, unquote, said Tucker at the Georgia State University College of Law. Abbott has not yet appointed judges for the new courts, but according to records obtained by trade publication, the Texas Law Book, applicants include Sylvia Matthews, a judge that shielded dozens of natural gas companies from litigation over power grid failures during a devastating winter storm in 2021. Scott Brister, a former Texas Supreme Court justice who defended oil and gas conglomerate BP in litigation over the devastating oil spill in the Gulf of Mexico. David Gunn, an appellate attorney who touts the victories he has won for ExxonMobil in environmental cases. Quote, it is early days and would be premature to speculate about how the new court might affect specific businesses, noted Alex Winslow, the director of communications for for the Texas Trial Lawyers Association, which opposed the new court system, okay, in an email, in an email to the Lever. Tucker echoed this sentiment. Quote, the Texas Business Court may end up being a robust and well-functioning judiciary. That is just yet to be seen, unquote, she said. But she noted how the courts handle a case involving a company like SpaceX would be revealing. Quote, a new and untested court is going to potentially have a massive stress test if it is asked to flex its new judicial powers against either Musk or one of his companies, she said. Musk has shown an interest in cases with implications that go far beyond the narrow interests of his companies. The suit brought by SpaceX in Texas, for instance, is currently challenging the fundamental structure of the National Labor Relations Board, a case that threatens the very foundation of workers' protections in the United States. Musk has been fighting to keep that case in Texas court, even though it revolves around a labor dispute in California. A Texas judge on February 15th ruled that the case should be heard in the presumably less friendly California courts, but an appellate judge last week put the transfer on hold while it considers SpaceX's appeal, keeping the case for now in Texas. So the billionaires bought some courts, and it remains to be seen whether those courts will actually benefit SpaceX and Elon Musk. It should be very interesting to see how that works out, though of course it's too early to tell. So let's see what kinds of comments we have. Well, only Steve is here at this point. So beyond hello, well, we don't have any comments yet. D says hello also at 8:20. So we have D and Steve, two friends. I thought this was a pretty blatant move by Elon. Just a way of making more money. My stream at 8:30 is going to be on a piece by Tom Hartman on MAGA plans. I think the scenario put forward by Tom Hartman is kind of interesting, but I'm not sure in this case that it's correct. So since there are no more comments, I think I'm going to leave this stream there. I am trying to make my streams a little shorter. This one came in at roughly 20 minutes or so. So I think that's good. And I'll see you at 8:30 with my stream on the MAGA plans. Thank you for coming.